Arsenal's season has just taken a massive turn. A guy who's come under so much criticism over the past couple of seasons finally has an answer back. And I'm not saying this guy has totally redeemed himself, but he's definitely opened up a conversation about what his role will be going forward. Arsenal played Athletic Bilbao yesterday away from home, a terrific result, 2-0 away in the Champions League. But there are so many talking points, so many details that we can touch on. And of course, the first one is Martinelli. I want to hear people's thoughts about the game yesterday, and I'm genuinely curious, so let me know. For me, it was kind of a funny one. Like, this was Martinelli's game, and I did have a chuckle to myself because when the substitute was being made, I already knew the response of so many Arsenal fans. It would be mainly negative, like, what is this manager doing? Why are you bringing off Eza when we've just brought him? He's our best attacker. I probably made a bit of a mistake and I jumped on social media just to try and gauge the Arsenal fans' reaction, and it was mainly negative. There was not many positives saying, yes, this is a good decision. Martinelli comes on, he scores, he totally flips the game on his head. And what I liked is the response from some of these guys. I've even heard people say, Arteta got lucky. He was desperate. And it's like, how has he got lucky when he's using one of his favourite players, a player he's used constantly that people have criticised him for? Because he's picked that player, all of a sudden, this was a lucky move. This was desperation for using this player that is blatantly one of his favourites. I just thought that was funny. There was some irony in there. But let's talk about Martinelli's performance. This Martinelli is the Martinelli we've been waiting for. Now, I'm not saying he's been consistent so far. He's done it in one game. He would need to continue over this kind of form over a couple of months for us to start having these conversations to say Martinelli is back. Everyone on this channel who's been a long-time viewer knows my thoughts of Gabriel Martinelli. When he's in form, when he's playing with 100% confidence, he's one of the most exciting players for me in world football. Not one of the best, one of the most exciting, because I never know what he's going to do. Unfortunately, the past couple of seasons, his output, his end product hasn't been good enough. The way he took that goal yesterday, I hope that inspires him to recreate that form of 3 seasons ago, because that Gabriel Martinelli is electric. So what is the difference? Why is Gabriel Martinelli suddenly morphing into this guy that we saw 3 seasons ago? I think a massive contributing factor is the introduction of players like Eza and Madueke. He's a Brazilian flair player, Gabriel Martinelli, no doubt. When he first came into this team, he was doing what the likes of Madueke was doing. I think he kind of lost himself. He got comfortable, maybe. It can happen in football when you know you're the guy, you're the main guy, you're the manager's favourite, you will play every single week. You lose that edge. You would do in any sport. And since Eza and Madueke have started coming in, he's probably looked at it and said, if I don't do what these guys are doing, there's no way I'll get into the team. Because if you've got a choice of Gabriel Martinelli, who's a fairly decent attacker, will attack his guy sometimes, a lot of the time likes to recycle the ball, but he's good defensively, or you put him up against Madueke, who 100% of the time will try and beat his fullback. There's no question there. You're always going to pick Madueke because as an attacker, you want that excitement, you want that attack, and you want that end product. Madueke's as well isn't perfect, but the way that guy's been performing over this past, since he's come into the club, is exceptional. He's probably one of our most, I dare to say he's our most dangerous attacker in terms of those one-on-one situations at the whole club. It's debatable. I understand people would have Saka, someone might have someone else, but he is definitely in that conversation. Martinelli has probably seen that and thought, right, if I don't perform, then I'm up against these guys, so I probably won't get a game. So that is what I put down to Gabriel Martinelli, hopefully regaining some form. I liked what I saw. Let me know your thoughts on Gabriel Martinelli, because like I said, I was very, very impressed by how he took that goal. It was that touch to take it away from the defender. And we've had this conversation on this channel that Gabriel Martinelli is far more dangerous in that central channel. That central area is where he can do his best work. Not when he's always on his left foot, his weaker foot, but when he has the option to either take it left or take it right. I think that's where Gabriel Martinelli performs his best. And I think that moment showed that for me. Again, he done well for the Trossard goal to set that up. So hopefully he can kick on from here and compete with guys like Eza, Madueke. I don't care who plays in that position as long as they are the best to start in that position. And that is exactly what we will get. If one of these guys ain't performing, they go to the back of the queue, and that will raise the level of every single player. So let me know your thoughts on Martinelli. Viktor Gyökeres. Again, look, I don't want to focus on the negativity or the people that are calling him out, but it's what you get with a player like Viktor Gyökeres. I will describe my feeling on Viktor Gyökeres. It is he the most graceful player? The most elegant player at Arsenal? No, he's not. Is he one of the most effective at Arsenal? You better believe it. He will score you goals. We've not brought him in to dribble past 6-7 players, do a Thierry Henry and then finish it off. He's not that type of player. He's a poacher, a goal scorer. Now, the people who are misrepresenting Gyökeres, I don't agree with them. The ones that are saying he can't play at all. I think we saw in that game, in that left channel, that left centre channel, Viktor Gyökeres comes alive. And he is handy in terms of dribbling. When he receives the ball, he likes to hold it up and he likes to go in behind. There was a couple of runs he done where we saw that. He kind of done a run from the halfway line onto the edge of the box. He couldn't work a shot for himself, so then he laid the pass off. We're going to see that more and more. Even though Gyökeres didn't score in that game, that is one of the games where I think Viktor Gyökeres played with the most confidence. People might not agree with that, but from what I saw in terms of movement, in terms of showing for the ball, in terms of running when he has the ball at his feet, I liked what I saw from Viktor Gyökeres. And again, it's one of those players where if you bring him off after 70 minutes and he doesn't score, a lot of people will say, well, what's he done this game? Because again, he's not the most silky. He doesn't play little flashy 1-2s all the time and he's always on the ball. He's a player who likes to try and run in behind. So when it doesn't work, it's easy for people to say he's had a bad game. And the only way he can shut that up is by scoring. Now, I think the benefit of this is because Viktor Gyökeres now has scored a few goals, I think the noise and the conversation around Viktor Gyökeres has dampened massively. I don't think there's any more a question about whether this guy is good for this Arsenal team, whether this guy will be a good Premier League striker, because we're starting to see it week in, week out. He scored 3 goals in 4 games. The question is no longer can he score in the league. It is just how many goals will this guy score? Will he get 20 or will he get 25? For me, that is the question. And I think we're going to find out the answer. For me, it may even be in between that. But again, I don't think he had a terrible game. Players like Zubimendi, players like the whole defence and that. I mean, I could reel off every single defender from that game. But again, Mosquera just deserves a shout out. £13 million for Mosquera is a level of business that you do not see anymore in world football. You cannot pick up a player, especially for a club like Arsenal. You might get a lower league team or a lower caliber team picking up this type of talent because they know they haven't got that much money. Say if you're a Leicester and you pick up a Kante for cheap. But if you're a big club, you usually can't pick up these cheap gems because people know you've seen something in this player. You're Arsenal. You're absolutely minted. So you're going to pay for the privilege to take this player off of us. That's the way it works. So for Arsenal, for Berta, to secure this player's signature for 13 million and for him to come in and be as steady as he is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, this is a kind of player that has not split opinion whatsoever. The rival fans love him, or they say they appreciate him. The Arsenal fans love him. There's people even having conversations like, does William Saliba need to come back even for the Man City game? Because I think it would be harsh to pull Mosquera out. Now, I don't necessarily believe that. But the fact people are having these kind of thoughts and these kinds of conversations is only a good thing. It just proves how good this guy has been. £13 million. The age of this player, he could go on to be, I've said it before, whatever he wants to be in football. His ceiling is so high. I'm liking the partnership with him and Gabriel. And the good thing about it is when Saliba does come back, you don't have to play Saliba in every single game for 90 minutes. The rotation here is easy because the drop-off isn't too big. And we've spoken about the importance of having that rotation and the level not dropping too much. I think we have that now on the right-hand side. Saka is, of course, still the superior player to Madueke. But if you want to bring Saka off at 60, 70 minutes, even if you're just 1-0 up or 2-1 up, you would feel confident in Madueke coming on and maybe creating something, maybe showing a different look and creating a different outcome if Bukayo Saka can't in a game. So I think we've got the same in that defence. Last season, if we were to lose Saliba, and we did for a part of it, it was almost like, this is going to affect us massively. Now, if we lose Saliba, like, what's the drop-off? It's not too much. Now, Mosquera isn't at the same level of Saliba, but I wouldn't expect him to be because he's just come into the club. He's a new player. It's just the level of Arsenal's squad depth. We've spoke about it before. It just impresses me so much. And look, there's a feeling in the air. You're seeing it with the media outlets who are consistently coming out and saying, I've got a good feeling about Arsenal this year. Now, when I hear that, I've kind of got two things in my mind. One, of course, you like to hear that about your football club. The second is, are these guys only saying it so then when it doesn't happen, they can start saying, look, they was meant to win it. Everybody had them as winners and all of a sudden they fell apart. So we need to be careful with the criticism and we need to be careful when we're kind of listening to the praise as well. But let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. What did you think of that game yesterday? Are you happy with the result? Again, it was a performance where it was like, until the goals, kind of not frustrating because I think we was comfortable at times, but yeah, maybe could we have been more dynamic in moments? Yes, but those are the games that you need to go on and win, and a 2-0 win away from home is brilliant. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could do me a quick favor, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.